all I heard was how much I was going to get it from my dad, right? So needless to say, the fear of God was placed in me at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. My dad didn't get home till 7 p.m. I don't know if you have a no-sit room in your house, but we did. It was full of antique furniture, and you were never allowed to sit in it. And my mom had an antique couch that was white. You were never, ever allowed to look at it, let alone sit on it. You sit there until your father gets home. Oh, this is going to be the last thing I said. Oh, before I ever got murdered. And I'm just waiting. My sisters get home from school. Dad's going to kill you. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. You should have thought about that before you broke a boy's nose, Cameron. Okay, I'll just hold it. So I sat there, and I just kept picturing my dad taking off his belt and doing that, thing to scare you. I'm like, he's going to beat me with it. I'm just going to be dead. So he gets home, and I am so nervous. I'm like, Dad, I'm so sorry. Listen, let me explain. Cameron, don't say anything. Up to your room. Those 21 steps never took so long as I went up step by step, and I get in my room. I'm like, okay, he's going to kill me now. I'm like, Dad, let me say, no. Cameron, not another word. But Dad, no, don't say anything. Good for you. You never let any boy tell you what you can or you can't do. You always stand up for yourself and your sisters. Tell your brother I punished you. So that was my dad. That was my upbringing. So I was a little rough around the edges. Maybe I still am, but that's okay. I was asked to give a talk to you guys, and as I said, the talk is going to be geared towards high school girls. So I just want to tell you what I'm going to do in this talk. In the first half of the talk, I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm not going to preach at you or tell you what you should or should not be. I'm simply going to ask you questions and hopefully awaken some desires in your heart. And then in the second half of my talk, I am going to tell you some amazing, beautiful stories about some great saints and 5 secrets from them that you can leave this talk with. So, the first question is, what type of woman do you want to be? What type of girl do you want to be? Who do you admire? Think about someone that you really respect. What do you respect about them? Just think about it. How do you want to be remembered? When you're gone, what do you want people to say about you? I can pretty much guarantee no one thought, I want people to think that I'm really superficial, or I'm really vain, or I want people to think I'm the most in-law distressed girl ever. No, you don't want to do these things. You want people to think that you were beautiful, that you were smart, that you were caring, you're a good listener. All these things that are good and wonderful. Okay, that's how we want to be remembered. When I think about someone that I look up to, someone that I really respect, I think about Saint Gianna. This woman is amazing. Beautiful, beautiful Italian woman who was a very strong woman, very smart woman. She was a doctor, a pediatrician. She was a wife. Her and her husband got married and had 3 wonderful, beautiful kids. They had a great, wonderful, amazing life. When she got pregnant with her 4th baby, she found out that she had a tumor. She was a medical doctor. Her fellow medical doctors were like, you need to terminate this pregnancy now. We just need to terminate it. And she said no. Like, okay, fine. We understand you don't want an abortion. That's fine. We need to do a hysterectomy on you now. That's your best chance for survival. We need to do a hysterectomy. She said no. She said, I want this child in my womb to have every right that my other 3 children have. She knew exactly what she was saying. Okay? So picture this. She's about to give birth to this baby. She's in a hospital. She's laying in bed. Her 3 young kids are probably running around and playing. Her husband's at her side, holding her hand, telling her how much he loves her. And she looks at him and says, if you have to choose between me and the baby, choose the baby. I demand it. Choose the baby. She knew exactly what she was saying. They both survived momentarily. St. Gianna got a high fever, and she died 7 days after giving birth to her baby. Oh. I don't know if I can do that. Like, that's huge. I think as a mom, I would be like, oh my goodness, my other kids need me. I can't do that. But St. Gianna thought nothing of anyone but this baby. She thought nothing of herself. She was a selfless woman who lived for love of God. Okay? I saw a talk that her daughter gave, who's also Gianna, this little girl. She's not a little girl, she's older than me, but this grown-up, Gianna, was talking about her mom, and she's like, "Mi saved mama, my mom was saved." You know, this Italian, beautiful woman. And she knew how much she was loved by her mom. She knew how precious she was to her, even though they were only on the earth for 7 days together.